Well, Newzroom Afrika's Athi Mtongana is live from Cape Town with the latest that's unfolding there. Athi, it's been quite a difficult week, I think, both on the part of the law enforcement officials and the taxi drivers. They simply don't see eye to eye over how this issue of the breaking the law of taxi drivers should be dealt with. What's happening there right now in terms of the stay away and, of course, some of these clashes we've seen?
Well, Kathy, you would have seen my colleague Nasipi Same extensively covering the story from when the tensions started brewing between the taxi industry and the city of Cape Town. There is some bylaw which some of the taxi operators are complaining about, saying instead of being fined for breaking the law, their vehicles are being impounded. On the other hand, Nasipi also had an interview with JP Smith from the city of Cape Town Safety Department, saying that, well, in actual fact, it's not a municipal law, but a national law, which is the National Land Transportation Act, which he says many taxi operators are breaking here in the city of Cape Town. And you'd have seen the shots that were fired earlier on this week between the taxi operators and some of the city of Cape Town's officers not so long ago. I just want to paint a scene then for you, Kathy. I'm going to briefly move out of shot because thousands of commuters are currently stranded. You would have seen some Golden Arrow buses that were torched earlier on today following that announcement by Santaco of downing tools effectively from today until the 9th of August. So now what you have is basically one or two modes of public transport. We know that there is a problem with regards to the trains, and now the commuters are having to rely on buses to commute, and so all of them are now congested in the Cape Town CBD bus terminus, where they're waiting for Golden Arrow buses to travel back home. I'm joined by a parent here, Kathy, who says she fetched her child from school at around 1 o'clock today, and they're still standing here. So let's talk to them and get reactions. Transport.
Yes, Sisine. What happened was, sithunyelwe i-message sisikolo, ne? Kwathiwa masikhawuleze uthatha abantwana bethu with immediate effect. After befumene i-video that was going viral, isithi into yobana i-strike siyaqala immediately. I ran to the school, fetched my daughter, thinking in Yobana I would get a transport because kuthiwe siyaqala ngoku i-strike. I went to school, and then by the time I was standing at the bus stop, thinking in Yobana I'd rather come this side because stock. I came this side to Cape Town. I've been standing here since 2:45 nalomtana. I am so scared in Yobana akafakwa nix ibus for ye to align. Since
where are you heading to?
I'm heading to Ekayelicha. Abafunu, they do not want to go to Kayelicha, but in Dobana ibus is yachiswa Ekayelicha. Yes, that is a fact, and Kayelicha is not the only place echisa ibus up at Cape Town, but we are the only people that are being affected by this whole strike. Ingati ingati Kayelicha le ithe makubekho i-strike se-taxi namhlanje.
All right, Sissy, thank you so much for your time. I'm going to ask my colleague to continue showing you, Kathy, the scene at the Golden Arrow bus terminus at the Cape Town CBD. As you've heard, that commuter who's been waiting with her child since 1 o'clock this afternoon today, saying she's still here at this time, and it doesn't look like any of the buses want to actually move from the CBD all the way to Kayelicha, because we have in the past and even today buses getting torched as a result of what is currently transpiring. Even though we know historically the taxi industry has repeatedly tried to deny that they have anything to do with the torching of buses, but the bus drivers certainly do not want to move to places like Kayelicha to move some of these people into their communities. Look at the number of people who are going through the windows, Kathy. I'm going to ask my colleagues to just zoom in and show you the lengths that people are going through in order to try and travel and get home. Kathy, back to you in studio.
All right, Athi, I'm going to ask that we stay with these visuals just a little bit longer. These are scenes out of the Cape Town CBD this afternoon as many residents try to find a way of getting home. There's a shortage of transport because taxi drivers have decided to withdraw their services. They're not seeing eye to eye with the city officials, and you're watching these live pictures of people that are trying to make their way into the bus. So 2 women that we've seen now being pulled up into that bus, all as an effort to get home.
We need the train to run. We need more buses.
This is the desperation, Kathy. You can see people have been waiting from the early hours from this afternoon as soon as they heard that the taxi strike is coming into effect. So some of them have really been waiting here since the afternoon, and this is then the impact and the desperation at which people are displaying, all in an effort to try and get home. Even though we know the bus is moving, yet the people are still hanging on the windows. Quite risky and dangerous, Kathy. But this is really the desperation of the people in and around Cape Town trying to get home this evening. Many of them saying that really they've been waiting since the early hours of this afternoon, and they cannot take waiting any longer. They're saying that they need more buses. But the bus drivers are very scared, fearful, and reluctant to move into the communities where these people need to be because of fears of the buses actually getting torched when they transport them to get to communities like Khayelitsha and Nyanga, where my colleague Nasipi Same is currently at. Kudala nilapha sisi. Kudala. Kudala nilapha mama.
Kudala yu kudala bengiphuma emsebenzini ngo-3. Ngoba besindile ibhasi azikho azikho.
Ngiyaphi.
Ekhayelitsha mina enkanini.
So we are currently at the Cape Town CBD bus terminus where people are stranded. They're trying to get home. It's a hustle, and they're risking their lives to try and get home.
We're hearing there the voice of our reporter Athi Mtongana, as you heard at the Cape Town bus terminus. and it obviously it remains just a matter of time before a bus like this has to take off, and we saw just the pictures of what it is that some people were resorting to be able to get onto this bus. So the waiting period, at least based on what some of the listeners have said about how long they've been waiting at this bus terminus, is at least 3 hours. And at this point, it's 3 hours and counting. The taxi industry has withdrawn its services. It's as a result of the breakdown in talks that took place between themselves and the city officials. All of this over the impounding of taxis that has been taking place in the city of Cape Town. You'd remember earlier this week the clashes that took place between taxi operators and members of the police that said they were simply wanting to enforce the bylaws of the city. So these are the latest pictures then that we're dealing with. You're seeing in picture now what really appears to be thousands of people that are stranded tonight and have no way of actually getting home. And the difficulties that even with private vehicles, as we have seen previously, when there are protests in areas such as Cape Town, the vehicles that have more than one passenger or more than two passengers on them are then stopped. They have to explain who the people in the vehicles are.